Welcome to the Wedding Potluck, a wedding planning podcast about navigating the ups and downs of wedding planning and marriage. Hosted by wedding industry pros, Belinda, owner of Sovereign Bee, an event planning company with a roster of A-list celebrities, and Christian, aka DJ Menace, owner of an award-winning wedding entertainment company for over 10 years, along with special guests ranging from wedding vendors to real-life couples.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Wedding Potluck. It's your man, Christian, aka DJ Menace, with my girl,
Belinda, Sovereign Bee. Should I say Sovereign Bee, Belinda? I don't know. I don't like, because you say like your whole name. I should say my whole name. So Belinda, a queen.
Are you aka Sovereign Bee? Because I'm aka DJ Menace.
Oh, I'm aka Sovereign Bee. That's right.
Okay, we could do that. Yeah. So I'm Belinda, aka Sovereign Bee.
Okay, got you. Okay.
But we're recording already, so.
For next time?
For next time.
Okay. I'm Belinda, aka Sovereign Bee.
You heard her live. So welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. We have another very interesting episode for you today. Today, we're going to be talking about tips for your wedding ceremony.
Okay. Since we're both officiants.
We are both officiants. I've officiated tons of weddings. Belinda has been officiating weddings as well.
Like five.
Like five? Okay.
No, I think a little bit more.
A little bit? I don't know.
I think maybe like 7.
I lost count. I probably did like 5, 6 this month.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do 7. I actually became an officiant during COVID.
Oh, nice.
Just to give myself something else because people were eloping.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, let me put this on my belt.
Yeah. Why not?
Right?
And you're there.
Yeah. And I'm there. Correct.
You're there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I've performed at tons of ceremonies, but even before that, as somebody who's providing the audio 9 out of 10 times, maybe more, I'm there anyway.
Sense, yeah.
And I'm a master of ceremonies, so it kind of made sense.
And you're bilingual.
And I'm bilingual, so I also do bilingual or full Spanish.
And you're licensed.
And I'm licensed.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm also registered with the city of New York as well to do.
Don't look at me with that little smile, okay? So just so you know, a lot of these officiants, they think they can practice in New York, right?
The boroughs of New York, yes.
Well, they think they can know. They think they can practice in New York.
Right.
But the boroughs of New York have different rules.
Correct. 100%.
So that means if it's like Bronx, Brooklyn,
Queens,
Manhattan, and what's the other one?
Staten Island.
Yeah. So you have to register with their clerk, with their city clerk.
Correct.
To have your wedding be official.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So your officiant has to be in a registry with the city clerk, aka they keep the records, and if it doesn't match and this person's not in the system, it is void. Your wedding never happened.
So one day I call Christian because we always call each other just to shoot shit, right? We're like, hey, we got nothing better to do. What are you doing? Oh, so what are you up to this weekend? Oh, I'm going to officiate a wedding in the Bronx. He's like, wait, you've registered in the Bronx? And I said, what? I can marry anybody in New York. He's like, no, you can't. And I'm like, what? He said, can. And I go, I've married people in New York before. He goes, where in New York? And then when I think of all the places in New York, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're all upstate New York.
New York State, yeah.
New York State. So I start panicking. I call the couple. I call for an emergency meeting. And I'm like, hey, I have some bad news. I might not be able to officiate your wedding because I'm not registered with the city of the Bronx. She goes, Bronx? We ain't getting married no Bronx. I said, what? She's like, we're getting married in Westchester. I said, oh, it's Westchester?
I can do
I felt like it's right near the Bronx. He goes, it is, but it isn't. And I said, okay. So I almost fell victim to that, but Christian was ready to officiate for me.
I got your back. I had your back.
Yes, I was really happy about that. But
that it recently happened. So we're just sharing that. That has really it's somewhat to do with this episode.
Well, it does have to do, right? Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, oh, my friend has officiated tons of weddings and blah, blah, blah. So depending on where they've officiated, they might be legal there, but they might not be legal in the fight.
Right. And then even goes to like where they're submitting the paperwork. In New Jersey, you usually submit it to the town they got married in, not the town that you live in.
Right.
In New York, usually it's where they live. I mean,
it gets a little complicated.
Right. So every state and every municipality
So
has
just
their own
make sure
rules.
you do your homework.
Yes. Or the person that you're working with knows what they're doing.
Yes.
If it is a professional or a friend, either or. I mean, they should figure that part out. It's their
All
job.
right. So tips for your officiant
Yes.
at your wedding ceremony.
At your wedding ceremony.
Numero uno.
Belinda and I have witnessed tons and tons of ceremonies. And one thing that is so simple that you could share with your officiant, which a lot of times some, people choose a family or friend that has never done this before, is that special moment when the guest of honor is walking down the aisle. You should just tell everybody to please rise. Look at that.
Then the second one is remind them to sit their asses back down, because so many times,
oh my God, so bad.
They just start officiating.
Yeah.
Everybody's standing there for the entire ceremony.
Yep. I have legit video footage of people standing for an entire 20, 30-minute ceremony. And what happens is the person who's officiating, once again, probably hasn't done it a lot. So they're nervous. They're so into their script, probably not even looking up that much.
Yeah. Don't even notice that everybody's still standing, looking at them like, why are we standing here like fools?
And people don't want to be rude sometimes.
Yeah.
So they're like, out of respect, standing. And
here comes me, the planner, like trying to tell everybody to sit down on the sides. And nobody's looking at me, but we're
in the wings. So friendly reminder, whoever is officiating your wedding, just tell them. It could be after their opening remarks. Maybe they give a quick welcome.
Right.
Thank you for coming. Maybe even an opening prayer if it's religious. That's fine. Doesn't need
Sometimes
to
they ask the questions like, who gives this person to so and so and blah, blah, blah. And they do
I never do that one, but I have seen it. It is sometimes old school done.
Yes.
But yes, just after the opening remarks, or maybe that moment where somebody gives so-and-so away, just tell everybody to sit down so they could be comfortable and enjoy the rest of the ceremony. Easy. Super easy. Please rise. Please find your seats.
I have another one.
Ooh, what's another one?
Speak into the microphone.
Oh my God.
I'm going to let you dive into that one, because this is your thing. Audio, DJ, MC, officiant, do everything.
I'm out here.
Oh, yeah, we outside working hard.
We're outside.
Trying to put these kids through college.
My daughter goes through a lot of diapers. So, fun fact, if you haven't worked with me and you're just listening to this and learning about planning, I have a section in my wedding planning form that actually asks for whoever is officiating the wedding to please come find me 15 minutes before everything starts.
Okay.
Here's why. Touching upon this topic is I give a little crash course on speaking into the mic. I might adjust the microphone stand. So the height of a mic stand, if you're speaking into a mic stand, the proximity, how far or close they should be to it. They shouldn't be next to it. They shouldn't be too far away from it. And the thing is here, sometimes people out of comfort level start to slowly distance themselves from the microphone naturally. And as we go far and far away, obviously we lose sound.
And then you hear somebody in the background yelling, "We can't hear you, speak up."
Right. But you know what they commonly do to me is they look at me to turn up the audio. So it's not just that simple though, because I could, in theory, start cranking it up. But here's what starts happening. The sensitivity of the mic goes up, and then you start hearing wind and background noise and a bunch of crackling and crisp. It doesn't sound good. So just telling the DJ, whoever's doing the audio, just to crank it up is not always the smart solution, because now the mic is too sensitive and starts to pick up too much background noise or like wind, for example. And now you're not going to get a clean audio feed anyway.
Okay. I have something to add to that, because I was recently at a wedding. I think his sound system was trash, the DJ. And
damn.
Yeah, really, it was trash. Okay. When I don't tag people in my posts, you know they're trash. Okay.
Damn.
So
I didn't get tagged today in your post.
I'm gonna punch you.
Damn.
Oh, I forgot to tag you. I did. Well, okay, not all the time. I'm a little forgetful at times. That event was like 3 months ago.
That was oopsie. Okay.
Oh my goodness, why'd you tell me? Then you're gonna tell me now? You put me on the spot now?
I love messing with you. Come on.
You're so funny.
The reaction was better now that you didn't know.
I'm like, oh yeah, I did it. That's right. I forgot you were there. Okay. So what happens is the officiant was speaking and the mic was going Like you're talking and you hear like that. So I go to him, what the heck is going on? He goes, it's the wind. I'm like, homeboy, there is no wind here. You were actually working that in the same venue that day. Remember I said, dude, we were at the same venue and we didn't know?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly what the problem is.
What is it?
You cannot use wireless microphones at that venue. Was it a wireless microphone?
Yeah, I think so.
You have to use wired microphones there.
Oh.
Little pro tip for you, if you're ever working with anybody else there, this area, just to give you a quick description.
Also, it wasn't his fault?
He should
his
still. His
sound system was still trash.
It could be bad, but here's the thing. So there's certain areas in where we live, because we live in the tri-state area that's surrounding New York City, so on and so forth. There's a lot of frequencies going on there. There's helicopters, there's boats, there's planes, there's millions of people around there doing sightseeing things. I have top of the line equipment, and even my stuff over the years, and I've been working there for many years because, I'm familiar with the space. I could have literally my receiver right next to the microphone and it'll still chop out. So for years now, right off the bat, tell any of my couples getting married there, you will have a hardwired microphone at your wedding ceremony. And I promise you will have good audio. If you want something wireless, I cannot guarantee or say.
You just floored me. Okay.
Yeah. But that's just experience, trial and error. I've tried every microphone there. I've talked to other DJs, and it's just there's too many frequencies going on.
You're trashing this guy. Poor guy.
Yeah, no. But I mean, he should still have a backup.
He was so crappy DJ.
He's still crappy.
He had no excuse for being inside and still being crappy.
I think I saw the van. It was a little disturbing.
That's right. You were there. Oh my gosh. It was disturbing.
Okay. So speaking into the mic, but that did jump into other mics. And then just a little side tip, sometimes wireless is not the best. Sometimes old school, plug it in, analog is going to give you a cleaner sound. So
that's great.
Number 4? Number 4.
So it's have a backup for your paperwork. So I usually bring a binder. I don't know why. I like paper.
I'm an iPad guy.
Right, you're super techie. I am not.
I'm very and I see a lot of officiants with binders.
So right. So I feel like a lot of officiants do carry binders. But what I've learned is that when the wind comes your way, or sometimes you have a water bottle and it could spill, like anything could happen, and then your script that you didn't memorize goes
SOL. Yeah.
SOL, and then what? So now I've learned to have a backup. I bring a binder and I also bring an iPad. And Christian and I were speaking about this before. And he's like, I bring 2 iPads. I'm like, you would.
Yeah, I bring 2 iPads. Or sometimes if I don't bring the second iPad, then I'll bring a hard copy.
Okay.
And then 1 iPad. But
right.
I mean, I usually have a backup. But yeah, it's tough because like you said, with the turning the pages thing on a windy day, I've even seen some officiants, let's say it's time for the couple to do the vows and they want to help and hold the mic, and then you see they can't control it.
Does happen, yeah.
So yeah, the binder backup, that's a little tip you can give your officiant if they are using hard copy. I've seen this. I don't think it looks great. People reading off their cell phones. I don't like that look. I mean,
at all.
At a minimum, maybe the iPad, I feel like it's a little bit more professional looking. The phone, if you could stay away from that, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it's great for your pictures or for the moment.
No.
It doesn't feel.
No.
I don't know. I've witnessed it and it just doesn't feel right.
The iPad looks kind of like a book. So it looks like you're looking at a binder. So
and you could put covers on it to make it look like a binder, but you can't really play that off with a phone.
No. I agree. I have to agree.
A phone looks like a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5.
All right, let's talk about 5 and 6. Go ahead. All yours. I'm going to sip on my tea for this one.
Oh, okay. So paperwork. We kind of touched upon the paperwork thing before, but I do feel like this is something that's commonly overlooked when somebody asks somebody close to them to marry them. Mm-hmm. It's exciting in theory because it's somebody who might personally know you and can maybe personalize your day a little bit more. However, I tell people all the time, that is important, but so is your paperwork. Without this paperwork properly done, you're not really married. Mm-hmm. And so when I go through this journey of marrying people, I'm also emailing them and talking to them on the phone or whatever we do beforehand in the planning phase, kind of guiding them and saying, hey, here are the next steps you need to take. You probably need to reach out to your local municipality and ask them what they need from you for your marriage documents. Most average turnaround time for this document too is also about 72 hours. So don't go the day
Oh, you
before,
can't go last minute. No,
or
no.
or
And,
no.
and then you can't pick up the marriage license till 3 days. In most places, 3 days before your actual wedding, or like a week before your actual
Right.
wedding.
You can't do it too far in advance.
You can't do it too far.
and
You can't do
it
like a
too
year in
close.
advance.
Yeah.
It's
So
not gonna work.
I always recommend about the month of the wedding.
Yeah.
Start reaching out, set up your appointment, because sometimes even they need a witness to
Mhm.
go with
They do,
you.
yeah.
You know, so there's a few steps. They ask you questions. You have to fill out an
They
application.
don't do it every day of the week. It's on a certain time. Yeah.
Certain municipalities are bigger than others. So
Mhm.
some work
It's
by
more complicated,
appointment.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
do take walk-ins. So yes, I think the paperwork back end stuff is something that's overlooked. And then you find the last minute, oh my God, the couples are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And then guess what? They're looking at their officiant, who's their friend or their cousin. And the cousin is like, I don't know what to do. Like, you just told me I need to marry you and that's it. Like, what do I
Repeat after me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I just thought I was making a fun script for you. So paperwork, please don't overlook that. And then even after the fact, just to add another little tip there,
Mhm.
you usually have to reach back out to the municipality who might have this final documentation, because sometimes they don't automatically mail it to you. Depending on the state,
Mhm.
some
You have
will
to go
mail
pick-
it.
you- and
Sometimes you got to pick it up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Some you got to go pick it up.
You need those papers for
Um,
that insurance.
At one point, you had to pay. I think in the state of New Jersey, Murphy waived a bunch of like fees that
Mhm.
people used
Yeah,
to have
yeah,
to
yeah.
pay, but who knows how long that's going to last for.
Right.
So you got to keep up with the times and what's going on with all this paperwork. Yeah. Not to get you lost,
I
but
always tell them, I'm like, ask your officiant.
yeah.
I'll do the research because, like you said, every town is different. But if I'm not marrying them, I just tell them to ask their
Yeah,
officiant.
that's the officiant's
Yeah,
job.
that's
And
their
even
job.
signing after the fact, getting the witnesses.
Oh, yes. And the witnesses, making sure the witnesses aren't too drunk to sign on the proper line, because you can't scratch, you can't erase, or you can't put a line through it.
Nope.
It's
And there's
not
no
valid.
carbon. There's no carbon copies anymore.
No,
So
there's no carbon. They look at me every time I tell them they're gonna sign 4 sheets of paper in Jersey. They're like, "What?
Yeah.
Why?" I'm like, "I don't make up the rules. Just sign each paper.
That's
don't mess
it.
up."
One by one. And yeah, there's a certain line and you have to be
I'm there.
consistent.
I tell one of the girls on my team, I'm like, you sit there with them and you hold you point your finger
Yeah.
right to where they're signing. Like, you keep your finger there to make sure they
No.
don't, because it's like so tiny and
It
they can
is.
make a mistake. Really, it's easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, you can't just scratch it out like you said. So that's a big one. So please.
You said scratch, and then I had to scratch my head. That's so weird,
Yeah.
right?
I'm like, let's do this.
So funny.
So where are we at? So that was kind of like 4 and 5 together,
Mhm.
right? How about you do the next one?
No, that's 5 and 6 together.
Oh, 5 and 6. Okay, because
Yeah.
number 4 was binders. Okay.
The next one is personalize your wedding ceremony.
Yes.
I tend to ask both couples their love story and how they met, where they met, when they first fell in love. That's how I personalize it. And I never read that part to them. I never tell them. As long as it's on both papers, on both their, like, they submit their love story, I don't ever read that little section. I'll go over the whole ceremony and I'm like, there's a little part that I'm going to speak about both of you. And I don't tell them, but I do, as a surprise, but I do ask them if they're more traditional, if they're up for a joke or two in the ceremony, and so forth and so on. I did one, and it was 2 lesbians, and I put, because I think one of them dated men before, and I said you had to kiss a lot of frogs, not knowing you didn't want a frog.
That's a good one.
They loved it. It was like everybody was cracking up. They were like, "That's cute, B." I'm like, I try to be cute.
That's nice. That's good.
Right.
Nice.
So I can play like a little clever, make it clever and stuff. And, we talked about how they met online dating and her mother told her not to do it. But, you don't listen to your mother and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
It worked out for them. But, that's not always the case.
Or sometimes you even have to ask if they're comfortable with that stuff. I had a couple tell me that they did meet online, but they didn't want me to share
Oh, yes, that's happened to me too. Yes,
share that,
don't share that
with everybody. So I
Mhm.
just, kind of use my wordsmithing. I'm like, yeah, they met among a night out with some friends or whatever. And, it's whatever I said. But customizing or personalizing is very, very big, I think, to make that moment even more special. But even like Belinda was touching upon, there's personalizing in the sense of like, what your love story is, which I actually do separate ceremony options. So I always consider my options personalized, but I don't always include that love story because I put a lot more time into my love story.
Okay,
So for me, that's an extra couple hours of writing. So I
Okay.
do charge a little bit more for that.
Okay.
And then I do what I call my standard script, which is still personalized, but it's more personalized in the sense of like, do you want religious? Do you want non-religious? Is there going to be any readings involved? Is there going to be a sand ceremony that we're going to be talking about? Is there going to be, I don't know, somebody that you would like to honor for this? So it's still personalized and it's still you,
Gotcha.
but like that extra love story with the
That's custom.
interviews,
That's more custom,
I add a
right?
little bit more to that. But yeah, I do that as well. And it's always a hit. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
What I find too, just to add, when Belinda and I or whoever your officiant is adding this personal piece as far as like the love story goes or whatever, it's also something for your guests. Because I've had a lot of guests be like, oh, I didn't know that about them. Or like, wow, you really took me back in time to like things that I didn't, that I maybe forgot about or whatever it is. So it's also for your guests as well, when you're adding this custom piece to it. And then for you to enjoy it, and remember why you're there, like, this is what brought you here.
Yeah. I've had people come up to me from guests and they're like, oh, I fell so in love. We're going to call you when we get married. I crack up. I'm like, that's so cute.
No, that's amazing.
Like, that was great.
And the other thing too is like, I feel like when you're not doing the same old, like boring, like outdated version of like some of these ceremonies that we've witnessed, is that you're connecting with different age ranges in the sense of like, I've had younger people and older people come up to me and be like, wow, that really had me paying attention versus like people who are like, oh, is this the same old ceremony thing we're doing again? Like, and they tune out, 5 minutes into it.
I once had this ceremony. She was, I think, her yoga instructor.
Okay.
That officiated. I think it was the best ceremony I've ever heard.
Really?
I've ever heard. Yeah.
Okay.
It was, I don't know. It was just so engaging and the storytelling was on point. It was like really, and I was just like, oh wow, I'm gonna pay attention.
Yeah, seriously, it's
like from the opening line, it was like catchy. I can't remember it right now because I'm on the spot, but it was. I know it stands out in my head as one of the best ceremonies I ever had.
And that is important. How do you stand out? How do you make your day unique,
special? And
your ceremony is a big part of your day. Because I mean, obviously,
I think that's the reason why we're here, not for the partying and the drinking, people, not for the open bar, but
right.
You to form this union, so it is I find it to be very important.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So, we can go on all day, but I think we're just going to end with one more.
Yeah,
here.
my favorite.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It's when they kiss.
Yes.
Move out the way, officiants.
Man.
They stand there, you're kissing, and they're like this in the middle of a kiss. So there's two lips right here, like this. And you're like this.
Yes.
Clapping.
Very, very easy. Whoever it may be, whether it's because I've seen some quote unquote professional officiants do it as well.
Well, because that's the way they used to do it back in the day. They used just to stand there. Right. I think that new moving out of the way is like a modern thing.
Right.
But it's like you look kind of creepy, dude. Two people are kissing in front of you. You're like there in the middle. Like, like move your face. So it's like a third face in the picture.
Yeah. So just imagine your beautiful end of ceremony wedding picture, and then there's literally a face stuck in the middle for the rest of your life, right? Because the plan is to be married for the rest of your life, but now you have this face photo bombing.
Imagine me in the middle with my mohawk in the middle of
the ultimate photo bomb that you do not need for your wedding day
is your officiant in the middle of your
professional friend, whoever it might be. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you share that tip. Say, hey, at the end when you tell us to kiss, can you just please move?
Yeah, sometimes I make a joke out of it. I'm like, you made a joke out of the last one, which was the one we did at Florentine. You said something funny. You said something cute, and then you moved out of the way.
I don't know. Yeah, I improv sometimes.
Yeah, you're like, and you were like, okay, what? And then you're like, you move out of the way, and you're like, you may now kiss.
Yeah.
and then because everybody starts laughing, it's a cute moment. The couple likes it, and that's great. Yeah.
And some quick tips too. I feel like Belinda and I share with our couples. I know I do. I think I feel like I've heard you do it. Is the pauses, right? So taking a few seconds and giving the officiant a few seconds to move, and also holding your kiss for a few seconds.
7 seconds, I tell them.
Not like this
kiss.
quick, super.
Yeah, because they're nervous. Everybody's nervous, right? And then I'm like, hold the kiss for a while.
Right. Right. So pauses in between.
Mhm.
It's almost consider it as pacing. You're pacing yourself. You're giving a nice pace for the officiant to move, a
Mhm.
nice pace for you to hold the kiss, and even walking out. Tell them a little bit about walking out.
Oh, so when you recess, right? If you have a bridal party or parents are walking out, everyone should wait until the couple clears the aisle. Because photographers and cinematographers, they love that moment. That's a big moment,
Yeah.
right? People are clapping. Sometimes they're shooting bubbles.
Right.
Sometimes they're throwing rice or they have ribbons. Like, so it's a moment. So again, nobody wants someone, they don't want you in that shot, photobombing, like you would say, in back.
Yeah.
So tell your officiant if he does, because sometimes bridal parties are not paying attention. The nerves are running high. Sometimes the parents are like so quick to want to go say congratulations to their child that they go in the picture right behind them. So the officiant is the only one that's closest to everybody, and he should tell everybody, hey, can everybody just step to the side, just like stay clear, because you're the only one there to instruct them. Everybody else is like, I'm on the other side, like walking the couple out. You know, that's the best bet.
Yeah, definitely. That's another form of photobombing. And, you know, the picture that you think that you're going to have an amazing shot on your phone is not going to be anywhere near as good as the professional photo or video that they're going to take. And honestly,
Never ever.
This couple's probably never even get this picture from you, because I can't tell you how many people, you know, like taking all these pictures and, you know, they probably hide them away in their phone. You never get them.
And you never see it again.
Yeah, you never see it again. So don't do it. And then
Don't do it.
can I add a bonus one?
Let's go.
I'm going to add a bonus one that kind of ties into this one. And I'm surprised we missed it, is kind of going with all this at the beginning is having the officiant make an announcement to kind of keep the cell phones out of the way.
Oh,
period.
Yes.
So
yes.
kind
Even
of
if you
setting
don't
the
have
tone.
an unplugged, right? Because some people don't have an unplugged.
Right.
And by what an unplugged ceremony is that there are no cell phones allowed to be taken out or any recording device during the ceremony.
In your pocket, put away. We don't want to see them. That is unplugged.
That's unplugged. But some people, they say that, yes, they're okay with people recording, but they don't want them jumping out.
Right. Keep them in the aisle.
Yeah, keep acting as if they're the photographer or cinematographer. So you need to stay in, like, don't take the phone out. Actually, one of our photographer friends just did a TikTok on it.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's up to like 3 million views on it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good for him, because that's a big one.
There is a dad taking picture of the flower girl, and he's like in the shot.
All up in it.
Like all up in the shot. It's adorable, but it's just like, it makes our job so much, that makes their job so much harder, right? Because they're paying them for the shot, and, you know, there's
it's a bunch of
the
phones
bride and, you know, the dad of the flower girl.
You know what really gets me? The iPads.
Oh, but
when people have a huge iPad instead. I mean, the phones are bad enough as is, but now you're talking a huge iPad in the aisle, like a massive. Like, first of all, what kind of quality image are you getting on that thing? Horrible.
And they're like this, like,
and they're all up in it, and they're usually like in the front too. Oh my god! So. If you're not having an unplug, at a minimum, maybe they can make an announcement to silence their cell phones, because that's really
that's
bad.
another thing when it starts ringing.
Yeah,
in the middle of ceremony,
and to kind of keep them at bay. You know, nothing in the middle of the aisle. There's no need to stand up in the middle of the ceremony and
walk to the front.
Yeah,
right behind the couple. I've seen that too. Like, they get up and they walk down the aisle.
Yeah, it's bad
with the camera.
Yeah, maybe we should do the next episode on like some of this, but like during the formalities, because I've seen this for first dances and we can go on and on, but this is about officiating. So we do hope that you took something away from this episode. It was even a little bit more than we thought, but there's so much more to it. But these are just some of the main things that you can share with your wedding officiant, or whether they're professional or a family or friend, it does not matter. We want you to succeed during this wedding planning process, and your wedding ceremony is something that should definitely be sacred and perfect, you know, as close as possible. So anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to sign off, Belinda. Do you remember your name before I start mine?
Belinda, AKA Sovereign B, signing off. I did it right.
You nailed it. You nailed it. And I'm Christian, AKA DJ Menace. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Wedding Potluck. We hope to see you, or for you guys to tune in next time. Take care. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wedding Potluck, your go-to podcast for all things wedding planning. We hope you found our discussions and expert tips helpful in creating the wedding of your dreams. If you have a story you'd like to share or a topic you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out to us through our website, theweddingpotluck.com, or on social media at The Wedding Potluck, where you can also find more inspiration and resources. And remember, no matter how big or small your celebration, the most important thing is the love that brought you together. Until next time, let's raise a toast to love.